to Annie's Pink Chair. Woohoo! It's a turn up day. Y'all have no idea who's in the studio right now. I'm about to introduce you to my friend, and the theme today, I was gonna say she's full of it. She is full of it, and I'm gonna say it right now, Grace. This is a on fire woman of God. She runs a church with her husband, Grace Christian Center. Mia Wolfe is in the house. Hey girl, hey.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool because I was like, I have one more show left, and here comes Mia skipping down the little lane, knocking on the door, popping in the studio, and I was like, woo, pop up preach.
I'm so excited just to walk into a television show.
And you look so
I'm
cute.
Like, hey, I'm here.
And you got your nails done, and you got your toes done.
Yes, so it's perfect timing.
Where did you get that watch, girl?
My husband got this for me.
Oh, it's nice to be married to a husband that buys you presents.
Yes, this was one of the ones I didn't return. But
wow. So you know what? I wanted to hear about, I know that you haven't been in Vegas like a super, super long time, but we met because you reached out to me, was it on Facebook?
Probably, you know what? I read your book.
Okay.
Somebody gave me your book, and I went to hear you preach. You were filling in for a pastor at, what was the name of the church?
Was it at ICLV?
No, it was the other one that you were at.
Valley Vegas.
It was at VBS.
Okay.
Is it VBS?
Okay.
Is that the name?
It's Valley Vegas now.
Yeah, Valley Vegas. And you were filling in. I was like, I've got to go hear her. Her story was so awesome. And of course, you hear the name Hookers for Jesus, and you're like, what is that? I got to figure out what that is. And so I went to see you, and I bought a T-shirt, and I waited, and you were preaching, and then you were, you know how tired you are after you preach three services.
Your
And this
mushy.
was a night service, and I was just like, I'm just going to wait. Like, let me tell you something. If you want something bad enough, you will wait and wait and wait. If you want something bad enough, you will do whatever it takes to get it. I mean, isn't it true? If you want that thing on TV, you want that thing, you're going to save up the money, you're going to do it. So anyways, and I felt stupid too. I was like, I'm just going to wait. When she walks by, I'm just going to bump
grab
into her and be
hey.
like, hey, can you sign this? This is my book. It meant so much to me. And so I waited. I was the last person there. And you know what? And this is, you know, sometimes it's not easy to be what is the word? Transparent. But literally, this was a time when we were really struggling. You know, we go through times where we're struggling, not struggling, not struggling. I don't know if I'm the only one. But all I had was $100 Dillard's card. I didn't have money to give you an offering. I had $100 Dillard's card, and it was just on my heart that I wanted to bless Destiny House, your mission, your place here, your nonprofit.
Wow.
And I was like, I know this needs explanation. And so I grabbed you and I said, hey, Annie, I said, I just want to tell you, I said, and literally, I think I spent my last $20 that I had on the T-shirt that I had bought because I wanted one. And I was like, I just have to sow into your ministry. And this is a $100 gift card that I got for my birthday. And I said, I want to sew this into Destiny House. I don't know if they need towels or sheets or what it is that you can buy for them, but I want to sew into your ministry. And from there, we kind of connected. And then I asked you to come preach at our women's conference, and you blew it up. And I was like,
that was a great
you're called
conference.
to preach.
No, you are. You are.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of that, so what I was going to talk about earlier before you got into the studio, because I was like, what am I going to talk about today? And it was actually about the woman at the well and how she met Jesus at that well. And everybody didn't want to talk to her because she's hiding. We all know the story, some of us, not all of us. If y'all don't know the story, you need to read it. Okay? Just look up woman in the well, Google it, and they'll give you everything, okay? But the main point of that was saying that when she found out he was the Messiah, she went back into the city where everybody didn't want to go. All the Pharisees and all the Israelites did not want to cross through Samaria. Went in there and said, I found the Messiah.
She did.
I found the Messiah. And so the power.
The first woman preacher.
The power that comes out of your mouth as a vessel of God is amazing. And the grace that you give, and that's why I said this theme today is grace. Nothing can escape that. And one thing I wanted to say about that Dillard's card, because I know where we sewed it. And it's unfortunate. And this is part of trafficking. We blessed one of the girls. She had to share her story and do some flag dancing, and she wanted to look thinner, so I got her some Spanx.
Aww,
and
some of my favorite
beautiful
things.
dress, a beautiful evening black dress. And it's really sad, but about 2 months ago, she passed away. She was murdered by her trafficker, Mia. And I haven't talked about it publicly yet to anybody.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
She was so special.
Sorry.
No, it's okay, but do you understand? When I took her shopping, she was crying, saying, "You would really buy these for me?"
Wow.
I said, "I'm not buying you this, girl. We had a donor give us this card. I mean, God is giving you this. It's because he loves you."
Right.
You know, and I know one thing about her that she knew. She knew that she was loved before she died, regardless.
Right.
And that's what happens a lot with the trafficking victims. 5 to 7 times they go back. Those are the stats. Even if they've been in a healing program. The stats are a little lower because of that. But she had a real bad struggle with relationships and toxic relationships. And she struggles so deeply. But, you know, I know she's in heaven, so that's the good thing about that.
Well, and, you know, too, we remember those times we were blessed. Like you said, I know she felt loved.
Yeah.
And that just blesses me because, you know, at the end of the day, don't we all just want to feel loved?
Yes.
And
just, I mean, even just pretty. How about this? Why can't I look pretty? Why can't I bless somebody with a cute outfit?
And with nothing.
Go get your nails done.
And not
get your
expecting
hair
anything
done.
in return.
Right. And even though that person, maybe part of their whole hook of themselves was they were just stuck on their looks because they didn't have anything left, but to be in a place where you could look pretty in front of people now that you're righteous, it's like that was a whole different
and
blessing
preaching the
for her.
gospel.
Yeah. And she shared her story, and she was just a precious soul. But you know what? I want to talk more about how you got to Vegas. I want to talk about your church.
And
about you.
How many hours do you have?
I know. We'll be here like for 2 weeks. We'll be right back, you guys. I'm so excited because we have Miss Grace herself, Mia Wolfe, in his house. See you soon. When is the last time someone's accused you of wrongdoing? Or blamed you for something? Or rejected you? Guess what? You don't have to ever settle for that because there's God's grace to cover everything. In fact, it says in Romans 3:22, the righteousness is given through faith in Jesus to all who believe. There's no difference between Jew and Gentile, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and all are justified freely by his grace. You guys, if it wasn't for the grace of Jesus, the redemptive nature of Jesus on my life, yes, I could seriously be still considered who I was in my past. I could really be looked at and labeled. I mean, our world and our country just loves, our culture loves to label people. Oh, they're a Republican. Oh, they're a Democrat. Oh, they're a Jew. Oh, they're a Gentile. Oh, they're a non-believer. Oh, they're a churchgoer. Oh, they're religious. Oh, well, they're totally pagan. Look at them. No, there's no difference. When it comes to God's grace, all of us have fallen short of perfection. But through Jesus, we're all the same. We're all loved by God. You guys, I wrote this book. It's called Fallen Out of the Sex Industry and Into the Arms of the Savior. And in this book is seriously the story of grace. And in fact, you know my name, Annie, it means grace. It's a derivative of Hannah in the Bible. And it literally means woman of God and grace. And so I'm encouraging you, if you feel like, gosh, you know, God can't forgive me. People keep blaming me for things. They keep pointing fingers, using my past against me. That is a lie from the pit of hell. Get set free today. Go to the website, hookersforjesus.net, purchase this, or go to Amazon. You can get it. And I also have it in audio form, which is my voice narrating the entire book, the story of redemption from sex trafficking, and we have it in Spanish, okay? Go to hookersforjesus.net, and if you actually want an autographed copy, you can call 702-883-5155 for an extra $5. We'll give you an autographed copy from me. Thanks, you guys. We got grace for decades, forever, infinity, because grace is given by God, you guys. if it wasn't for the grace of God on my life, on Mia's life.
That's right.
I mean, did he not step in at the right time? Like,
yes.
And forgiven us for everything. And just, we keep making mistakes and he just keeps letting us get up and try again. It's like the most loving father I've ever met in my life. Just loves you through your junk. And I'm always messing up, girl.
Right.
I don't care. I don't know about you, but sometimes I think, and we were talking about this privately earlier, I'm not going to say any names, but we were talking about how even some women that have shared the gospel or shared and preached or taught, they're kind of edgy to where you're not sure if you were around them, they would judge you or not. You're not sure.
Right.
Because of the style that they teach, and you're just like, And you were talking earlier about an author that you really, really enjoy, that I actually enjoy myself too, and how much grace she has.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I think that we're all like perfectly imperfect, and that's what speaks to people, because, you know, most people are more ministered to by my mistakes, you know, because they can relate to that.
Right.
You know, and not to the Pinterest perfect life.
Oh, we all love to do the Pinterest thing.
I mean, the Pinterest thing, every pictures are edited. Facebook, I love Facebook. I
edit too. I did it.
I love it. But let me tell you something, I wrote today about a bike wreck. Look, you can see on my arm, I had a bike wreck, and I did that. Let me tell you something. More people relate to the bike wreck than they do the perfectly posed, beautiful picture of me on a bike.
How to get more followers.
Right.
Hashtag.
But that's what the world needs. They need more ministers that are not so perfect and not so made up and polished. And I don't know about you, I didn't grow up in church. I didn't grow up, you know, I was raised half my life in Tennessee, which is the Bible Belt, but I was not raised in ministry, in church.
So you didn't go to church every Sunday?
No, I did not.
And you lived in Tennessee?
I lived in Tennessee.
Girl, are you sure you lived in Tennessee?
We were the C&E Christians.
Oh, okay.
What is that? Christmas and Easter. That's what my husband preached about, the C&E Christians. But, you know, coming forth and being in ministry, my husband's a pastor, I'm a pastor's wife, like I'm accepting. I love people. I don't care where your walk is, what you believe. I love people, and I love God. And, you know, I think the two go together. Love God, love people. Right. But to me, some of the times that I've been judged, like, oh my gosh, a woman in the pulpit, or oh my gosh, like she's wearing pants. You know, I mean, these are things to me, they're like unfathomable.
Look at her stellar eyebrows.
I don't, I can't get it. I can't wrap my mind around it, but I know it's there.
Right.
And so what I was talking about, even with a Bible study, and it's like completely, I love theology, I love learning, I love taking classes, I love all these things. But when I can pick up a book and read about an author's failures, about their you know, the things they've done, mistakes that they've made, to me that ministers to me. And you know, I can see God in that, I can see grace in that, I can see all of,
especially as a leader. Leaders are not perfect. No. And when we portray ourselves to be perfect, I mean, we see it in the news play out all the time about the hypocrisy of being a leader, leading, especially with politics, leading our country, and then finding one mistake about that leader, and then everybody tears that leader down. That there's no grace for the good things that leader's done, or what they stand for, which is so ridiculous. And that happens a lot in churches. I mean, we're, the pastor, yeah, he did this, and it's like, that $5 he bought crayons for his kids by accident, or whatever. I'm just making up a scenario. Like, and all of a sudden, he's a thief. It's like, dude, what?
Yeah.
Leave this guy alone.
You know, negativity, people come together sometimes, you know, based on negativity, but we need to really, even when we're making comments about things, like I'm always trying to be, you know, aware of not jumping on the bandwagon with everybody. Even what we're going through right now, this, you know, the quarantine that we've been through, let's look at the positives of it and highlight those, because the devil gets enough attention. Let's highlight what God is doing right now.
You're spending more time with your family, aren't you?
Exactly. Hey, let me tell you something. More people are listening to the gospel via airwaves right now than any other time in history. This is history in the making. Let's talk about that, right?
I told my husband the other day, and he was like, oh gosh, I can't wait till this quarantine's over. And I'm like, well, I mean, yes, for the economy, absolutely, absolutely. Let's not let these businesses close. But what I wanted to say was, I told him, I said, I'm a quarantine queen. Like
so
I'm good with being by myself.
I know people like that are like, I was made for this.
I can read and I can just chill and I can eat and I can get on my treadmill. I can listen to a bunch of teachings and I can learn a new thing. I'm in a class right now. I'm learning a bunch of stuff and it's so amazing. There's the extra time.
That's what, there's positive moments in it. Now me, I was not made for quarantine. I was like, one of the reasons I stopped by here is I'm like, I need to be around people. I've got to be around people. But also,
and then we busted it. We hugged each other.
Yes. And then I'm like, I have 4 kids at home, homeschooling right now. I'm trying to work as a real estate agent. Our church is, struggling because we haven't been able to have service. Yet people still need the gospel. They still need their pastor. They still need this. The kids need their teachers. But even in all of this, when I could like sit back and complain all day, I can give you a long, long list of all the things that I don't like. But let me tell you something. I appreciate teachers. I appreciate church like never before. I appreciate the people that are committed to coming to church on Sundays. I appreciate the tithers, the givers. I appreciate all of these people so much more. So it's like, what kind of spin? It's our mindset. Your mindset is everything. Everything. And the woman at the well, we were talking about her. I mean, you know what? Jesus took the time to stop and talk to that person that nobody, and she was like, you would talk to me.
Yeah, give me some water. He said, can you give me some water? I'm paraphrasing, of course. She's like, me?
Out of my vessel?
A Jew? Water from a Samaritan?
What's wrong with you?
Kidding me?
She's like, aren't
you prejudiced against me?
Hidden camera. Like, what's the hook on this?
Shouldn't you be hating on me? I mean, because that's our political atmosphere right now. Hate, just because I don't agree with you and the way you live or what you believe in, I hate you.
That's true.
And I'm going to express myself on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever we're talking about, right? It's like ridiculous. So I want you to talk about, because we're running out of time again, Mia. This is like, we're talking too fast. When we get back, I want to talk about how you got to Vegas. What called you and your husband here?
Yeah.
Because that's really important to hear.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
A lot of people judge. They judge Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
This is like, the mob city.
Sin City.
It's where call girls work. People drink themselves to death. And it's like the crazy Vegas, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, you guys, we'll see you soon. There is a sanctuary, a beautiful property where people can exercise and they can swim, and there's palm trees, and there's a safe haven called Destiny House that we run as Hookers for Jesus. It's a safe house for sex trafficking victims in the Las Vegas Valley and other states. We've taken ladies from other areas of our country that had needed to get out of sex trafficking and abusive, toxic relationships. We really need new partners. We need people to come alongside of us. We are a nonprofit. We always rely on donors like you, people like you that care about the cause to end sex trafficking. And one of the things that we do is we just not only do education, and we don't always just do outreaches, but we actually are boots on the ground. We are taking these ladies out of the trafficking lifestyle and putting them into the Destiny House where ladies can dream, discover, develop perfect destiny that God designed for them, to change their lives, to flip their lives inside out, upside down, into their true purposes God originally called them to do. Complex trauma is real, and many of these ladies that we deal with on a daily basis need 24/7 care. They need trauma therapy, trauma group therapy. They need to be walked through their healing as they unpack the garbage and the toxic abuse that's happened to them. Won't you partner with us today? Do you have a heart for these women? I'm one of these women. I've been redeemed. I've been set free. And I am now a leader in this community and beyond of helping ladies get out and teaching them that they too can be free and they too could become great leaders and start their own nonprofits one day. You can just go to hookersforjesus.net and click on donate. You can give through Secure Give or PayPal. You can actually give us a nice gift on Cash App. Listen, we're in need of clothing for the ladies. We're in need of supplying food for them, gas for the vehicles to take them to their appointments, and making sure that they stay into the 24/7 care that we're trying to give them, we have a staff we have to pay to do that. Go to hookersforjesus.net. Thanks for your partnership. God bless you. I want to tell you about my friend Mia. Oh my gosh, I wasn't going to say this, Mia, but I remember meeting you and getting to know you. And I knew you had told me you have the church. And I didn't understand. And I guess maybe I just haven't been shown. Just like a lot of acceptance from a lot of people for what we do in the name. And I'm getting teary-eyed because you just showed me so much love. And you just treated me like a woman of God, like I was your best friend. And you never judged me. And you invited me to speak, and it was just so beautiful. And you're part of a church, and you are a church, and it's like, this is what the church is supposed to do. And there's so many women out there like me that are trying to start ministries, that have gotten out of trafficking, that have been in the sex industry, that everybody just shuns them still. It's like they're afraid to talk to them. They're afraid to, oh, they're going to frame me for something, or they're going to hit at my husband, or whatever it is. And I know things are changing a little, but I just want to commend you and thank you for your love and your grace, that you didn't need to be taught by me to treat me the right way. Like, I know the Holy Spirit told you to love on me.
No, it's not
And
hard.
I don't get it. I don't get
hard.
it, dude.
You're very lovable.
I don't know.
You didn't get it.
I mean, thank you.
And your passion and your enthusiasm is amazing. And I love and appreciate that. And let me tell you something. What I appreciate the most is I've read your book. And like I said, I was a fan from the get-go. And when you said, like, and it's kind of the same thing about me coming to Las Vegas. You said people are like, it's dangerous there for you, Annie. People know who you are. Why don't you go somewhere else? Why don't you? Said, because God called me here.
That's right.
And even when we were moving to Las Vegas, we're from Chattanooga, Tennessee, Bible. I mean, it's like, the South. Why would you go to Las Vegas? Like Sin City, you're going to go. And we didn't really come to start a church. That's what ended up happening. And God placed us somewhere. And that's a whole amazing testimony. But like, why would you take kids there? Why would you raise kids there or whatever? Like, you know what? Like, we're to love the people God puts in front of us.
Right.
Empower them if we have a platform. And we think, God says, hey, I have my platform. Let me share it with you, because you know what? We have to lift up and motivate the people around us. And then I have no regrets, right? I mean, and I love you. I love your ministry. I love what you stand for. I love everything that you stand for. And listen, even the things that you've been through that, you're unapologetic about, and it's made you who you are. And I think that's how we should live our life, and it should be commended and loved.
Wow. Well, you were saying earlier about the coming to Las Vegas, and then you were wearing this shirt called Wifey.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Okay. So I read your book, and I was like, it teaches you a lot of lingo that we use that's kind of mainstream from human trafficking that we don't know. And so I had this shirt, and I loved it. And there's probably old Facebook posts of me with it on, and it says Wifey on it. And I thought it was like the ultimate, like, hey, for my husband, like, wife. I'm the wifey. And when I read your book, and it said that is, well, tell us what it is.
Well, Wifey is a nickname for wife-in-law within a stable of a trafficking situation with a pimp. Now, I don't know if that shirt was made for that purpose. No. I mean, I think that's just a nickname people have given.
It probably wasn't, but I think it's gotten trendy and popular, like, I'm your wifey.
It's like a polygamous type of relationship.
And so after I read that, I got so convicted that I threw the shirt away. I'm not saying throw it away.
Burned the shirt.
I'm saying that God convicted me of it, because I thought, I don't want to popularize and trend these people that are in this position and called that. Kind
of like the show Pimp My Ride. It was like, take it off the air.
The name, you don't know until you know, though.
Right.
I mean,
so you started a church. And where's your church at? And what's the website?
It's gcclasvegas.com, Grace Christian Center. We're on Farm and Cimarron in Northwest Las Vegas. And, we've been there for going on 9 years now.
Oh my gosh, it's been that long.
Yes, and it started as a Bible study with my little mommy and me play group.
Okay.
Called Pray and Play, and in our living
How
room.
cute.
Yes, Pray and Play, isn't that cute?
I love it.
And it was
you
a
need to make
season.
a shirt that says that.
I think I had one. You know, it's so
Dude,
funny.
that's so beautiful.
Because you're like me, you work on like words and themes. You know, my life has always been like that. And I'll tell you what, even trying to go back to that, I've tried to resurrect that play group.
When are you writing your
times.
book, by the way?
Yeah.
Come on, girl.
I think I have too much ADHD to write a book.
No, you don't. No, I do too. I'm the queen of ADHD. You need to write a book.
But, you know, I've tried to go back to that season several times, and it was never, I could never, like, make it happen again. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that was the Pray and Play time. It grew into something else, and it grows into something else, and grows into something else. Like, God always has new things for us. Like, even, you know, I had a women's ministry, Warriors and Hills. That's who you spoke at, you know? And, you know, it's so funny because even the theme, I think maybe the one you spoke at was keys. It was a key theme.
Yes, I remember that.
And you know what? And then after that, it's like God said, it's your next. And I got my real estate license, and it was all about keys for, you know, it's so
Keys to
funny
the
how
kingdom.
God connects everything that we do. There's always a next. Like, don't ever think that you're sitting in this one place forever, because the moment that you think, oh, I'm really super comfortable, is the moment you better be like, okay, what's next, God? Because you
and
can't
you're
get
always
comfortable.
looking for him too, Mia. I noticed that, and you're so encouraging, and you're such a beautiful spirit and person. And I know so many women and people have gotten, you know, set free from coming to your church and just being your friend, and you being the leader that you are.
Thank
you know,
you.
and I know God's going to continue to bless you guys. And you know what? I want you to tell someone out there, you know, what grace really means to you.
To me.
To you.
Well, I think that...
And what it means to them, what
Right.
it should mean to them.
I mean, I think that grace means, honestly, like, if you don't know grace, I think we don't give ourselves grace a lot of times. Like, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not the good parent. I'm not this. I'm not enough. And grace, like, trumps that. It takes everything away from that, because without grace we can't do anything. And it is the epitome of the Bible, is God's grace. We are all undeserving. Let me tell you something. We're all sinners. We all fail, not just once a day or twice a day. Like, we all need God's grace all day long. All day long. I yelled at my kids this morning, and then I had to call back and be like, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
I love you so much. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to yell. I mean, do we not? Do we not need grace minute by minute, day by day, hour by hour? And that's not a free pass to go, well, I don't have to live this way, or I can do whatever I want to. But
and you can, but it's going to end up kind of disastrous.
It's going to be, I mean, you are still accountable for the decisions that you make.
Right.
But God has given us a grace that we don't have to stay in that moment. Quit beating yourself up for the things that you did last year, or for what, you know, the things that your parents did or somebody else did to you.
I cannot wait to be able to come back to your church when this dumb thing lifts.
I know. Well, let's have a big conference.
Again, say that website.
GCCLasVegas.com.
And the cross streets of the church.
Farm and Cimarron, Northwest Las Vegas, like Durango, that area.
Every type of person goes to your church. I mean, I've seen like every color, every race. Like, it's amazing.
Yes.
And I can tell people love it there. And so thank you so much, Mia.
Thank you,
for
Annie.
coming on.
It's so good to see you.
And I'm just so thankful for your friendship.
Well, likewise.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys, isn't she amazing? Energy and grace. I love it. We'll see you next time on Annie's Pink Chair. Thanks for joining us today. Bye.